Now, let me say this clearly. We are living in a time where education is debated, politicized, criticized. But let me tell you something. As a black man who teaches history, I've noticed that just about every era that tried to limit education eventually depended on the very educators it underestimated. This is important to know because schools are where democracy breathes. Schools are where children discover their voices. Schools are where the fabrics of society are stitched together. And every single educator, regardless of title, is stitching something bigger than a lesson plan, bigger than a test score, bigger than data. You are stitching hope. This is a roll call for the real ones, not for the headlines, not for politicians, not for the test scores, but for the real ones, the ones our nations depend on, the ones our communities lean on, the ones our families can count on. Let me start where I always start. I'm a 7th grade social studies teacher, which means every day I stand in front of 12-year-olds who are trying to figure out the world while the world is trying to figure itself out. And here's what I know. Schools don't run on Wi-Fi. They don't run on curriculum, nor do they run on mandates. They run on people. So today, this is a roll call for those people who keep our schools thriving. When I call your roll, don't clap politely. Stand up and rejoice in your spirit, because our country depends on you more than they will ever admit. General educators, the front line. You differentiate lessons like DJs mix tracks. You build relationships before you build rubrics. You teach standards, but you also teach perseverance, achievement, connectedness, and kindness. You're the ones who hear, "I didn't eat last night. My mom's working 2 jobs. My dad's not home." And then somehow you still manage to teach fractions at 10:15 in the morning. Our communities depend on you. Parents depend on you. Children depend on you. Your consistent presence is beyond valuable. Special education teachers, you are miracle workers without capes. You see ability where others see labels. You write IEPs by night and rewrite self-confidence by day. You fight for accommodations. You advocate in meetings. You celebrate progress that the world overlooks. You don't just teach content, you teach dignity. In our nation, it depends on your belief in every single child. School counselors, you are the quiet heroes in crisis moments. You hold secrets. You hold tears. You hold space. When anxiety spikes, when grief walks in, when trauma sits in the hallway, you are the calm in the storm. Families depend on you. Students depend on you. We depend on you. Instructional coaches, you remind us to sharpen our axes. You pour into teachers who pour into students. You challenge us. You encourage us. You remind us that growth is not punishment, it's power. When we doubt ourselves, you steady the mirror. You make us better. And when teachers get better, kids win. School librarians, you are guardians of curiosity. You put books in hands that change lives. You create safe spaces between shelves. You introduce students to worlds beyond their zip code. In a time where information is everywhere, you teach discernment, you teach literacy, you teach wonder. That matters. Teachers of the deaf and visually impaired, you expand access. You translate the world. You make sure no student is invisible, and you make sure no voice is unheard. You remind us that equity isn't a buzzword, it's a responsibility. Reading specialists, You unlock futures, because if a child can read, they can rise. You sit beside struggling readers and say, "We're not quitting." You close gaps quietly. You build confidence patiently, and you change trajectories permanently. School psychologists, you analyze data, yes, but you also analyze pain. You help us understand behavior. You protect students in crisis. You help build systems that protect mental health. You are the bridge between compassion and structure. And right now, this country needs that bridge. And to our principals, leadership is lonely. You take the calls no one wants. You absorb the pressure from every direction. You make decisions knowing someone will disagree, but you stand in the gap anyway. You protect your staff. You advocate for your school. You carry weight that most people don't see. That's leadership. So here's my challenge to my fellow educators. When it gets heavy, remember why you started. When it gets loud, protect your peace. When it gets political, stay purposeful. And when it gets exhausting, lean on each other. Because we are not just employees of a district. We are builders of a future we may never fully see. And that takes courage. That takes love. That takes purpose. So today, this is the roll call for the real ones. The teachers, the counselors, the librarians, the instructional coaches, the leaders, the people this nation depends on more than it knows. And if nobody has told you lately, what you do matters. Who you are matters. And the way you show up for children, that matters most. Let's hold the line. Let's lift each other up. And let's keep building something bigger than ourselves. If you're an educator who believes in the work, who refuses to give up on the kids, and who wants a space that lifts you up rather than drains you, this channel's for you. Subscribe for more messages, motivation, content that honors the real ones in education. Let's keep building something bigger than ourselves. Yeah, let's build something positive out there for the educators. This right here, this is a tribute. This is a tribute to teachers, counselors, special educators, librarians, instructional coaches, and school leaders who hold the line for our children every single day in our communities. I couldn't fit everybody on here, so more than likely I'm gonna make another one, because there's a lot more educators out there holding that line for us and stitching our communities together. So yeah, let's big this up. Let's put some positivity out there for educators.